Hello students, so in this video let us solve a few challenging problems from the chapter complex numbers. So the question, if 1 minus I by 1 plus I power 100 equals A plus IB, we need to find A and B. So in order to find A plus IB, let me consider 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I. Now what is the conjugate of the denominator? It is 1 minus I. So let me multiply and divide by 1 minus I, so that the value of this expression does not change, right? So 1 minus I into 1 minus I is 1 minus I whole square, and this is of the form A plus B into A minus B, which is A square minus B square. A is 1 and B is I, so A square minus B square. Now we know that I square equals minus 1, and here I apply A minus B whole square formula. A square plus B square minus 2AB divided by 1 square minus I square is minus 1. Do not forget to put brackets, because I square is minus 1 and minus into minus will be plus. So what do we get? So we get 1, I square is minus 1 minus 2I divided by 1, minus into minus is plus, 1 plus 1 is 2. Here 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. So we get minus 2 by 2I, 2 and 2 gets cancelled, which is minus I. So therefore 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I is minus 1, or essentially we can write it as 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I whole power 1 equals minus I. So now this expression power 1 is minus I, so let me take it square. So minus I whole square equals minus I into minus I. Minus into minus is plus. I into I is minus 1. So this is minus 1. So effectively 1 minus I by 1 plus I whole square equals minus 1. So 1 minus I by 1 plus I whole cube is what? Minus 1. This represents square into minus I, right? So this into this is 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I whole cube. So minus into minus is plus, so we get I. So what is 1 minus I by 1 plus I whole power 4? So I need to multiply I with, minus I. So I get minus into I square. And what is I square? Minus 1. So minus into minus 1 gives me plus 1, right? So this expression power 4 is plus 1. So 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I whole power 4 is plus 1. So if I raise this expression to power 25, I also need to raise this to power 25. So this is of the form A power m whole power n is A power m into n. So we know that 4 into 25 is 100. And 1 power 25 is also 1 itself. So 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I whole power 100 is 1. So this can be written as 1 plus I into 0. So what is A? A is 1. And what is B? B is 0. So let us take another problem. X plus IY equals A plus IB divided by A minus IB. And we need to prove that x square plus y square equals 1. Now we have x plus iy. What is the conjugate of x plus iy? It is x minus iy. So I have x plus iy into its conjugate x minus iy. When I multiply this, I get x square. This is of the form a plus b into a minus b. So the expression is a square minus b square. So x square minus y square into I square. I square is minus 1. So minus into minus is plus. So we get x square plus y square. So x plus iy into its conjugate is going to give me x square plus y square, right? So this is LHS. So I need to take the RHS, consider the RHS and show that this is equal to 1. So I have A plus IB divided by A minus IB. This is x plus IY. Now what is x minus IY? I have to take its conjugate. Conjugate of A plus IB is A minus IB and conjugate of A minus IB is A plus IB. So I can directly write it as A square plus B square divided by A square plus B square equals 1, because we know that x plus IY into x minus IY equals x square plus y square. So similarly, x and y have been changed to A and B. So instead of x and y I have A and B. So therefore A plus IB into A minus IB is going to give me A square plus B square. So both of them will get cancelled, so we get 1. So I need to find the real values of x and y, and this expression is given. So now let me remove the brackets. 1 into x is x minus I into x is ix plus 1 into y is y plus I into y is iy equals 1 minus 3i. So let me group these two, x plus y, and here for these two expressions I have I. So let me take plus I. So I get minus x plus y equals 1 minus 3i. So now let me equate the corresponding parts. X plus y should be equal to 1 and minus x plus y should be equal to minus 3. So x plus y equals 1, minus x plus y should be equal to minus 3. So we have two equations, let me add them. X gets cancelled, y plus y is 2y equals 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So y is equal to minus 2 by 2, which is minus 1. So let me substitute the value of y here in this expression. X minus 1 equals 1, x is equal to 1 plus 1, which is 2. So the values of x and y are x equals 2 and y equals minus 1. So again here we need to find the value of x and y. So let me multiply the denominator with this expression. So I have x plus 3y. So bringing the denominator here, I get 1 minus I into 2 plus iy. So multiplying the right hand side, 1 into 2 is 2, 1 into iy is plus iy, minus I into 2 is minus 2i, minus into I is minus 1, which is I square is minus 1 into y. So what do we get? We get 2 minus into minus is plus, plus y plus iy minus 2i. So this is x plus 3i. Let me bring all the terms to LHS. X plus 3i minus 2 minus y minus iy plus 2i equals 0. So what are the terms without I? These are the terms. So you have x minus y minus 2 plus I, you get 3i plus 2i, which is 5i, right? So I will write 5 here, and then minus y equals 0. So therefore x minus y minus 2 plus I into 5 minus y is equal to 0, right? So right hand side, if I have an expression, say a plus ib, a is also 0, b is also 0, because the RHS is 0. So I have to equate these two to 0. So x minus y minus 2 equals 0 and 5 minus y equals 0. So definitely from this expression y equals 5. So let me substitute y equal to 5 here. X minus 5 minus 2 equals 0. So x is equal to 7. So the values of x and y are x equals 7 and y equals 5.